Hello, this is the Meta Man reminding you that the Meta Man rocks.
Tomato rocks.
And we're going to do a really interesting show today on gambling in the cryptosphere, gambling. And we're going to talk about a fascinating coin in the gambling world. Yes, I will live up to that, happy man. I'm going to teach you about one particular coin, and I think you'll really like it. The coin is funtoken. Make it fun. What else could be a better name for the fun token than fun? Funtoken is the #1 cryptocurrency for all things gaming. And it's got a fascinating website. It's got a fascinating story. And I think it's got a fascinating profit potential. So stay tuned. First of all, we're going to do the fundamental analysis so that you can learn what the fun token is. And then, of course, we'll do the technical analysis to decide if this is a good time or not to get into it, and if it has a good profit potential now. So let's launch into the fundamental analysis. The first thing I want you to look at is the top gambling coins by market capitalization. So listed here are the coins in the gambling sector of the many thousands of coins there are. And you'll see that indeed funtoken is the #1 coin within the gambling sector. It's way down at 397. So this is really important. Gambling is big in the world. You and I know that. Billions and trillions of dollars is spent around the world, in the real world, not in the metaverse, not in the cryptocurrency, but in the real world. Trillions of dollars is spent on gambling. People are gambling addicted because they're so intrigued by gambling. The biggest buildings in Vegas are all gambling casinos. So for gambling, the gambling sector to be way down, it's way down at around 60th, whereas the metaverse is around 20th. And for the #1 token in gambling to be only 397th in the list of market capitalization rank, there's something wrong. And what's wrong is it's new. It hasn't developed yet. The coins that are in it just haven't proven themselves enough yet, or gambling inside the cryptosphere hasn't caught on yet. And so this is a really interesting fundamental analysis point, that this could be a very big opportunity. In other words, if the top gambling coin were in the top 10, well, then it couldn't go up that much. For example, if we think of Bitcoin, and by the way, if you want to know about a Bitcoin price prediction, just go right there. There's a really nice price prediction for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin can't go up that much. It's somewhere around $50,000, give or take. And so it could go to 100, it could go to 150, but that's double or triple. Whereas coins that are way down in the ranking could 100x, but it's unlikely that Bitcoin is going to 100x, not in the near future. So the first fundamental analysis point is this could be a very big winner. Its market capitalization is 142 million, which is fairly small. So we're looking at a coin that could drop to zero or could moon. Now, what are the odds that the top coin could drop to zero, the top coin in all of the gambling world in crypto? And the answer is it could. It very well could. For example, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. If you looked at the cell phone world about 15 years ago, there were only 2 giant manufacturers of cell phone: Nokia for the low-end cell phones and BlackBerry for the high-end cell phones. And together they accounted for maybe 90% of the market. And then Apple came along, and Nokia and BlackBerry aren't dead. They haven't gone bankrupt, but they've lost their market share. Maybe they have 2 or 3 or 5% market share, but they used to have 90%. And so Can coins, even the largest coin in a sector, drop to zero or almost zero? Yeah, it can. So remember, this is for education and entertainment. Education and entertainment. What does the MetaMan do? The MetaMan rocks.
The MetaMan rocks.
And the MetaMan rocks with education and entertainment. If you're wiser because you listen to me and you listen to other advisors, then great. Then I hope that you learn a lot and I hope that you invest wisely. But don't do what I say because I'm not telling you what to do. The next thing we look at is where it is listed. I'm really annoyed by attempting to invest in coins that are on some exchange that's way down on the list, and it may not be as secure as the big exchanges. And in any case, I don't want to open another account just to buy one coin. It's a nuisance to me. And so I was quite gratified that even though it's way down around 400 in the list, that it's still on Binance, and it's also on 5 other exchanges. So this is good news. I'm grateful for that. And if you're enjoying this, then subscribe, 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 subscribe. Let me say it again. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Subscribe, like, and share. You see, there's a red subscribe button right there, a red subscribe button right there. And I would be honored if you would click on that subscribe button to be part of the deal. And you can also like this particular video, and you can also comment on this video. I answer every single comment, every single comment. That's the MetaMan's commitment. And by the way, the reason that I'm doing this video is because Mariana asked me to. And you might say, well, why don't I ask you? Go ahead. Go ahead. And the way you ask is by going to this video. It's called Grab Profits Fast. It's 16 minutes long. And let me tell you something interesting. When you go to that particular video and play it through, there's one moment in that video where I give you a secret password. And then in the comment section of that video, you can ask me to do any video you wish, and I will make it for you. And Mariana asked me to make a video on the fun token. And so I'm doing it for you, but also for her. So in the comments, you may want to say, thank you, Mariana, because she's the one that got this for you. And if you want to, then go to that video, play it, learn what the secret password is, and then in the comments, say that password, and then also say any video you want me to make. I then went to its website, and I've copied some of the interesting lines from it. Make it fun. Funtoken is the one-stop gaming token that will facilitate all forms of gaming with a transparent, provably fair, and widely used mechanism for funding and integrating to disparate gaming opportunities. Keep up with all the news and join our social channels today. There's lots of social channels. And of course, you can go to its website and join. And there are 5 benefits that they boast about. One of them is fast. Maximize your playing time with rapid wallet-to-wallet and in-game transactions. That's really important. Secure, of course, is ultimately important. Ownership of fun tokens is completely anonymous. Seamless. Fun is an ERC20 token. If you're not sure what that means, ERC20 is the kind of the code name for the Ethereum blockchain. The Ethereum blockchain makes processes faster and easier. Well, that's a bunch of bull. The problem with Ethereum is that it's too slow. Layer 1 Ethereum can process not 1 million transactions a second, like your computer can, not 10,000 transactions a second. Hold on to your chair, 13 transactions a second. Layer 1 Ethereum can process only 13 transactions a second. The slowest computer isn't that bad. So there is layer 2 solutions, but to call Ethereum fast, no. Eventually it'll be fast because the layer 2 solutions will work. Layer 2 means that instead of Ethereum doing a job, what it does is delegates that job to another coin. That coin does the job and gives back the answer to Ethereum. And in that way, Ethereum can offload a lot of its duties and therefore be able to work a little faster or appear to be working a little faster. And I have a wonderful playlist on Ethereum. If you just go right there, you can play some videos about Ethereum. It's open. That means that players, casinos, and developers, everyone can harness fun tokens power, and transparent. Transactions are decentralized, publicly recorded, and trackable. That's good. I mean, those are all the ones you expect. So when it says the benefits, it actually should be prerequisites, but it has them, and that's important. And that's probably why it's number one in the gambling section of the cryptosphere. And this is a really exciting announcement. They started as of December 2021 to burn tokens. And what does burning mean? Burning means that they take them out of circulation and just burn them, just get rid of them. And what that does is eventually, when enough are burned, that means there's fewer coins out there, which means that the price can go up. It's not a guarantee, but the more and more and more that coins are taken out of circulation, the greater is the chance that the price will rise. As per the commitment to token holders, we continue with our quarterly burn of fun tokens, the December burn being a total of 5.8 million tokens. That's a lot. This reflects 50% of net revenue from Dplay Casino. That's really important, and that's really nice. There's many coins that never ever burn, and there's many coins that just issue more and more and more. But Fun Token has gone the other way, the more noble way of burning tokens. And probably the most exciting thing is that it's 45% on annual percentage yield, 45%. When you stake Fun Token on Binance, you get 45% return on your money. Not because it goes up, because they pay you that yield. It's not called savings, it's not called interest, it's called staking. And its purpose is to create liquidity for the coin. But as far as you're concerned, you don't care what they do with it. To get 45%, try going to a bank. A bank won't give you 45%. A bank won't even give you 4.5%. A bank won't even give you 1%. Banks these days are giving roughly 0%. And Swiss banks are giving negative interest. That means if you put $100 into, well, it'd be 100 euro or 100 Swiss franc. If you put 100 Swiss franc into a Swiss bank account in Switzerland, at the end of the year, you'd have 98 Swiss francs or 99 Swiss francs. And I don't mean because of inflation. I mean, they actually take money out of your account. It's negative interest. It's a weird concept. But with fun, one reason it's fun is you get 45% return on your money, plus it might go up. This is really quite exciting. And that's the end of the fundamental analysis. So I'm going to give Fun Token a 9 or 10 out of 10 on the fundamental analysis, because it seems really, really good. It's fought its way to the top of the sector. It has a burn. It has a high yield on staking. I'm really impressed. It's done a good job. But now it's time to do the technical analysis, because even if a coin is a really good coin fundamentally, it may be a good time or not a good time to buy it. It may be a good or bad time to sell it. We need to look at the technical analysis to find that out. So the first thing that I do is go to coingecko.com and I look for the gambling sector. It's 62 on the list according to market cap ranking, whereas right now, today, the metaverse is 24th. And so it's way, way down. And if you look at the market capitalization of all 155 coins in gambling, it's $375 million. That might seem like a lot of money to you, but when you spread it around 155 coins, that's an average of only 2 million market capitalization. It's very, very low. And the volume is only 20 million per day, 20 million divided amongst 155 coins. There's something wrong. And it's called non-homogeneous. Non-homogeneous. Let me explain that to you. If I buy a share of IBM on the New York Stock Exchange, and someone else buys a share of IBM on, let's say, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, if it's listed there, then once you take into account the exchange differential between the Hong Kong currency and the US dollar, those two purchases are exactly the same. Whereas there's other things like houses that are non-homogeneous. A house can be a really good deal, but sit there for years before it explodes in price. Why? Because it's not homogeneous. Not all houses are the same price. And so there's what's wrong. It's not wrong. Wrong is the wrong word to use. But what's happening is that gambling really hasn't taken its place in crypto yet. Gambling, maybe people don't trust it yet. Maybe they think that it's rigged against them. Whereas in casinos, there's more regulation, like in physical casinos, in real world, like Las Vegas casinos, there's very, very strict governance, very, very strict government regulation. And so maybe people are a little afraid that gambling in the crypto sphere isn't regulated, maybe it's rigged. And so maybe that's why it's low. But as soon as some governance improves, as soon as people have more confidence, then gambling can go from 62 up to maybe even in the top 10. And this is a huge, huge technical analysis opportunity. Now let's look at the price action of funtoken itself. There's several things to notice. The first is I've clicked on maximum. You can see the purple circle near the top. This is the maximum that it's ever had, and it started way back in 2017. And what it did is skyrocket from roughly 0 up to 19 cents, and then immediately fell back down and did nothing for several years. And then it shot up and fell back down, and then it shot up and fell back down. So that's what we notice at first glance, but now let's go much deeper. The first thing I want you to notice is the market cap is 141 million. That's nice. And the market cap rank is 398. So it's way, way low in the market cap rank. And I've also circled the volume because I want you to notice when it shot up in January of 2018, there was a certain amount of volume that moved it from almost 0 to 19 cents. But now when we move to 2021, you'll see that much higher volume, those spikes that are circled, that's the amount of volume. Much higher volume produced much lower spike. That's not interesting. That's not good. You want higher volume to produce even greater spikes. And it didn't. So I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned, but one of the things that I like is immediately after it spikes, it falls right back down. It spikes, falls back right down. Spikes, falls back down. And so why is that good? Because instead of holding this forever, what I would do, and this is for education and entertainment only, I am the meta man and I may rock, but I am not a financial advisor. I'm just an entertainer and an educator. Meta man rocks.
The Meta Man rocks.
So here's my final comment. If I were going to buy funtoken, I would look first at the red line pointed down at the bottom right of your screen. Why? Because I think that Bitcoin is going to go down. Why? Because the whales, that is the people who have over 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallet, over 1,000 Bitcoin, that's $50 million just in one coin. They don't like that the minnows, that's the little investors that never study, they're over leveraged. And leverage means that if it goes up, the little minnows will make a fortune. And whales don't like minnows to make a lot of money. Whales like to eat minnows. And so I think that Bitcoin is going to dump and all of the minnows are going to get completely wiped out like they always do. As soon as the whales have killed the minnows and have wiped out the leverage, then Bitcoin can go up and the whales will make money. the minnows will be out of the market because they'll have been washed out. And you and I were called dolphins. We have the wisdom of the whales, but we just don't have 1,000 Bitcoins in our wallet. And so I think Bitcoin is going to dump to get rid of the minnows because they're over leveraged. And then Bitcoin is going to go straight up. I don't know what, maybe I'll do a video on it. But the important thing is that you and I, the whales and the dolphins, are going to enjoy the big rise after the dump, which will get rid of the minnows. So here's the order of events. Number one, I would place cheeky orders. A cheeky order means an order to buy at a price that's way lower than the current price. Right now, the current price is 1 1/3 cents. 1 1/3 cents. So I would place a cheeky order at 1 cent for half of what I want to buy, and another cheeky order at 1/2 cent for the other half that I want to buy. And you're saying from 1 1/3 cents down to 1/2 cent? Wow, that's a unlikely. Well, it's okay, so it's unlikely. But if Bitcoin dumps, then it may not be so unlikely. And I would much rather buy at a 1/2 cent than at 1 1/3 cents, because the ratio is, the X factor is way higher. And number two, I would wait for Bitcoin to dump. And then as soon as it dumps, number three, as soon as you get filled, now you may not get filled, but this is my cheeky way of making a lot of money. As soon as you get filled, place orders to sell. I would place 1/3 of what I bought to sell at 4.9 cents. Why? Well, if you look at the chart, you can see that there was a resistance in July of 2018 at 5 cents. It went up a little above 5 cents and fell down. And then if you go way over to 2021, you'll see that it went up to 5 cents and down, up above 5 cents and went down, up to just below 5 cents and went down. And so 5 cents is a ceiling, it's a resistance. And I would rather place my order to sell at 4.9 cents just to give me a little more confidence that I'll make the sale. But if it goes past that, I want to sell another third at 10 cents and a final third at 15 cents. You might say, why not 19 cents? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, this is just education and entertainment. Now, the reason that I'm putting in those cheeky orders to buy, and then as soon as I get it, immediately placing orders to sell, is because this coin characteristically, just look at the chart, technical analysis, shoots up and then falls down, shoots up and then falls down. Well, what if it shoots up while you're sleeping? What if it shoots up while you're working and you didn't notice it? It may only stay at the top for 1 minute or several seconds, or maybe an hour, and you may not notice it. But if you put in your open orders, then you can't miss it. And then number four, wait for fund to fall again to reacquire it. Why will it fall again? Just look at the technical analysis. As soon as it jumps up, it also falls back down. And that's my fundamental analysis and technical analysis for the very interesting coin fun in the very interesting sector of gambling in the very interesting cryptoverse. Thank you. I am the MetaMan signing out. Thank you for listening to that entire video. Click right here to learn about Render, the most incredible coin in the metaverse. Click right there where it says Meta in order to subscribe, and click right there to play my previous video. Thank you.